more grateful you are, the more the Lord just seems to give you, the more you attract to yourself. We're going to talk about that today and more. But first, hey friend, welcome to my channel, Kareen Aloud Mental Gems. This channel is dedicated to leveling up in all areas of your life. So let us learn together, read together, but most importantly, grow together. Now, without further ado, let's get into this video. So I talk a lot about gratitude on this channel because I always believe this, that once you are grateful, everything just seems better in life. Once you are grateful, once you look at things through a grateful lens. And this is coming from somebody that used to look at things from a negative lens, also an ungrateful spirit. Okay. And I can tell you that I noticed a difference when I used to look at things from a negative and ungrateful lens to a more positive and grateful lens. Okay. And I'll tell you guys what the differences are for me. If you go and drive today and you said, I'm looking for blue cars, that's what you tell your mind. You will notice every blue car that is on the road. Now, if you shift and say, I'm looking for Teslas, then you will see all the Teslas on the road. Whatever you shift your focus on, you will see more of. Just like that, I realized, let me try that with my life. If I'm looking for happy people, I will see the happy people. Not that there's not sad people, but your brain focuses on what you tell it to focus on. So if I go in the streets and I'm like, today is a wonderful day, and I will see nothing but happy people. I'm looking for happy people. That's how my day will be. People that are smiling, that are joyful. Not only does it put in you, because you're looking for that, you start to smile too, you're looking for that, but you will only notice the happy people. If you see someone sad, your brain will quickly look elsewhere. Like it won't dwell on it. But if you just, today's such a bad day, like you woke up cranky in a bad mood, they call it the wrong side of the bed for a reason, right? What does it mean to wake up on the wrong side of the bed? It means you woke up, maybe you stubbed your toe on the edge of the bed and you're like, oh great, this day is going to be terrible. You already told your mind that, you believe it, and then now when you go in the streets, you're looking for everything to validate that today is in fact a terrible day. And the more you focus on validating that, you start to notice you only see terrible things, terrible people, bad luck, etc. It really does play a role in how you wake up. That starts with the gratefulness mindset. Do really start when you wake up. Whenever I wake up and I start my day right, I start my day with prayer and reading and meditating on the word of God. And I wake up like today's going to be a wonderful day and I'm going to get this done, It always happens. Even I noticed this with myself, that there's certain videos that I would do where internally I'm like, it's not going to really do numbers or it's not going to perform as well. But I want to do this topic because I know my subscribers will like it. Those videos indeed don't perform well. Do my subscribers like it? Yes, but they really don't perform well. But when any video that I do, I'm like, this video is going to perform really well. And I know my subscribers are going to like it. Guess what? The video performs really well. And that I'm talking about in the planning stages. And I noticed, I was like, let me do an experiment with myself. Why do I always predict the videos that will do well and then predict the ones that won't do well? From the moment I have the title and I'm working on the research, the one I think will do well, I come on here and I have more energy when I'm doing it. I already know it's going to do well. I'm excited. I put more effort. Everything is like set. The stage is set for it to do well because I already know this topic or this is going to do well. And for the videos I know might not do as well, but it's just for my OGs. It's been there. Maybe they requested it or whatever. The energy is not always as energetic, even though the passion may be there, but I don't come on with the same. I'm just like, this is just for those that requested or whatever. I'm not expecting too much from this. And I said, no, Kareen, treat every video as if it's a video that will do well. Have the same energy. And that shift happened for me a couple months ago, probably about 6 or 7 months ago. And I've noticed a difference in my video qualities with you guys and the engagements and commentary, etc. Be just free myself and be energetic and be positive. My mindset has changed. And if you've been subscribed to me for a very long time, which some of you have since my biography channel, my older channel, you guys know there's a difference in just Kareen overall look, presentation, everything. And I aspire to be better and better. But that came because of my positivity. And I said it several times on this video. I went through a very terrible bout of depression for a very long time. And I found that the minute that I became healed from that depression and I started to see things in a more positive light, it's almost impossible to not get more positivity out. It's like the Lord was waiting for me to get out of this funk to really bless me. And it shows in the work that I do and everything that I do. Just in everything, I see that hand of positivity in it. Life and death is in the tongue. The Bible talks about that. Life and death is in the tongue, right? And because life and death is in the tongue, we have to be cautious of what we speak. Many times in the Bible, someone would speak and the Lord was like, okay, with the very curse that you tried to put on somebody else, God reverses it and give that curse to the person who spoke it, right? Whatever actions we see, like for instance, we have to be careful of what we speak, not just on ourselves, but on others, in our day-to-day, our businesses, our ventures, our relationships, our marriages, our friendships. We have to be careful what we speak. There's a woman that kept saying that she's going to get a divorce. Her husband don't love her, this and that. She kept speaking that negativity into herself and her relationship. And eventually the husband did divorce her. The husband did cheat. The husband did fall out of love. And it's not that the husband always was never in love, never. It's just she was so negative in her thought and really believed those things that she was telling herself that she started to carry it into the relationship. She's constant, no matter what the husband tried to do to get her to not think like that, to not be like that. It just kept being. It's like someone that keeps saying, this isn't going to work out. This isn't da-da-da. They keep saying that. Eventually, they start to behave in that way, right? They start to behave as if it won't happen for real. This won't work out, and this won't. And once you behave that way, it really happens. That's a lack of faith. What is faith? Faith is believing in what we cannot see, okay? Believing in a promise that we cannot even see. And when we believe, we move within that promise. That's what Jacob and Abraham did in the Bible. They got a promise from God. They could not see. Abraham could not see how God was going to fulfill. I'm old and I'm going to have a child and the seeds will multiply the earth. How is that possible? In Abraham's age, did he get to see the promise fulfilled? No, it came through Jacob and Joseph and all of the 12 tribes, etc. It came way after. He wasn't going to live to see it, but he still believed and had faith in that promise. And Abraham just thrived. He thrived while he was on earth. Jacob did too. All the riches, all the cattle, all the herds that he had, the Lord gave to him. They believed in a promise that they could not see. And because they believed in it, they moved with that promise. They kept themselves from being defiled by the world and moving like the world. And they knew there was a greater authority, a greater God that we serve. And this is how he wants us to behave and move. And because we trust in his promise, because we love him, we're going to obey and we're going to move. That is faith. This is why Abraham is called the most faithful man in the Bible. He had the most faith because he believed in something he just could not see. He could not see. Israel was still a very small tribe, So I believe when we move, even though we cannot see, be delusional in a sense. I know TikTok talks about being delusional, but there is a power in being delusional. I don't think it's delusional to be positive, right? I can just speak from and I'm not giving you this prosperity gospel or this. There's tough times. There's work. I'm not delusional and expect things to just be handed to me and things to happen. I do the work that's necessary to get the things that I want. But I have this faith, and I feel like faith to those who do not understand it or don't have it is delusional. You appear delusional. How can you believe in this? And though you may not be Abraham, God may not have spoken to you in the dream or prophetic, someone didn't prophesy over you or you don't, but there's a dream in your heart. There's a promise that you just believe. There's something that's a longing that you just been seeing for yourself. You say, I have faith that if you put it in my heart, it must come to pass. It must be. And you move as if it is. Even with weight loss, as I've been on my weight loss journey, I was looking at old videos myself. Oh my goodness. Guys, in the span of, you guys might not see it as much on camera because I see me more often, but I had to go back to older videos from a year ago. I've lost about 20 pounds, slimmed all the way down, and I didn't see it. But I was moving like someone who already was losing the weight. There's still so much weight to lose, but I'm not moving like a little bigger girl anymore. I'm moving like someone who's already lost it, meaning I'm eating how the person in my ideal body would eat. I'm sleeping how she would sleep. I'm dressing how she would dress. I'm still, out going on and all of this. I'm not waiting to be a certain weight to go out and have fun, to love myself, to wear this outfit, to do this, to do that. I'm moving as if I've already am. And guess what? I just started to be. I'm working out like someone who's already, because a lot of people wait till they're skinny to go to the gym. That's so crazy. No, go to the gym now. Don't wait till you can fit into a cute gym clothes. You don't want people looking at your rolls. You don't want to be embarrassed. I used to be me. I could care less. Be delusional, okay? If I'm wealthy, I am wealthy. I'm going to move as someone that is wealthy. What does wealthy people do? They read a lot. Their habits. You read books on the habits of the wealthy. They wake up early. They read a lot, are cautious with what they do with their time. Okay, I'm talking about positive habits. I'm not talking about Diddy-esque habits, if you catch my drift. But what do they do? How do they get to where they get? And I'm like, okay, let me get those positive habits and move like someone that's wealthy. They save their money. They don't spend frivolously. They're cautious. What do they invest in? What business moves that they do? And I move that way, but I'm positive with it. I have gratitude. Because gratitude is key. And I noticed that the wealthiest, most successful people, they call them narcissistic and arrogant because they really believe in themselves. They believe in themselves a lot. I haven't known a wealthy person, or even the wealthy people I've had the pleasure of meeting, have had such a confidence and belief in themselves. They go into business deals and negotiations fully confident and positive, anticipating positive outcome. And they just keep getting more and more positive outcome. And I'm like, wow, they really, really have a faith in themselves. That I said this in my testimony story, that even when you don't believe in God, like those manifestation girlies and all of those, universe girlies that don't believe in God, but they talk about gratitude. The Lord is so gracious that even when you don't acknowledge Him, He still blesses you for just being grateful and having gratitude. There's a Bible verse that says it rains on both the just and the unjust, okay? The Lord is so gracious, and rain is blessings. He let it fall. He rewards good works. He rewards efforts. Just because you don't believe in God, people think, oh, only the people that believe in God should get blessings. What? That's crazy. A person that don't believe in God goes to school, study, puts in the hours. You think God is not going to reward their efforts? You think the person that eats right and goes to the gym and sleeps right, they're not going to lose the weight because they don't believe in God? That's what God says. It rains on the just and unjust. When you do what you do, you have the faith and the positivity. You go out there, you claim things, with faith. Even if you don't acknowledge the Lord, He still is so faithful and gracious. That is what grace and mercy looks like. Now imagine if you acknowledge the Lord and you're faithful and gracious and putting forth the effort. Oh, the Lord will bless you beyond what you can even imagine. But ungratefulness just looks like you feel sorry for yourself. You're sitting on the couch complaining like, why me? Why this? Why that? You have a business idea that you've had for years now, and you've never acted on it. You've never put forth a business plan. You don't believe that it's possible. You're not putting your best foot forward, and you're not anticipating good things. Of course, good things is not going to happen. You need a certain level of delusion to be successful. The people that made the biggest changes in life were delusional. When Martin Luther King gave his I Had a Dream speech, you know how delusional he must have seemed to so many people? There was over 200, this is a fact, over 200 publications and news sites reported that speech the day after as the worst speech ever given. The I Have a Dream speech. 200 publications. Y'all can go look that up. People thought it was the worst speech Martin Luther King has ever given. The worst speech, period.
I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will they be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream.
There were even Black people that thought he was delusional. White people that thought he was delusional. But guess what? That speech created so much change. He needed a level of delusion. I've been to the mountaintop. That's my favorite Martin Luther King speech.
Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead, but it really doesn't matter with me now because I've been to the mountaintop. I don't mind. Like anybody, I would like to live a long life. Longevity has its place. But I'm not concerned about that now. I just want to do God's will. And He's allowed me to go up to the mountain. And I've looked over and I've seen the promised land. I may not get there with you, but I want you to know tonight that we as a people will get to the promised land. So I'm happy tonight. I'm not worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord.
And it was a dream he had. I've been to the mountaintop, and I really believe the Lord took him to the mountaintop and showed him the glory. And he died shortly after that speech. But you know how delusional you have to be to see what no one else can see? Everyone can just be in despair and think, when will this end and that? And then you have a level of delusion that propels your level of faith to go. That is powerful. But you need a certain level of delusion to make those kind of changes. The greatest scientists and inventors that ever was had a delusion, a way they saw things, a way that things could be. They saw it and they said, we have to make it happen. And guess what? People might not have seen it. The first person that say, let's build a space shuttle. Well, I don't believe we've gone to the moon, but that's neither here or there. But for the sake of this video, let's say, let's build the first space shuttle. Impossible. The airplane, for instance, we can get on this device and it can fly us from United States to Paris, country to country. The first person that thought of building an airplane probably sound crazy. We've been traveling through ships all our lives. What do you mean going through the air? But they needed that level of delusion to make it happen. You have to believe. You have to have a certain delusional aspect about you to make it and to accomplish great things. Even Noah, I think of Noah. They mocked him. They thought he was crazy. They thought he was delusional because before the flood, it had never rained on earth before. It had never rained on earth before. They didn't know what rain was. There was instead a mist that rose from the ground that watered the plants. And they thought nature, they didn't know about storms or weather phenomenons, volcanoes. None of those things existed before the flood, right? And throughout history, that's been scientifically and historically proven by now that a flood happened. There's a show on Netflix I'll put on here for you guys to check out. But I've been a student of archaeology lately, and it just proves that the Bible is so real. Every culture in the past have their own flood story with and evidence that there was a flood that happened. Check out this show. You will not be disappointed on Netflix with several episodes. But do you imagine how crazy they thought Noah was? They probably thought he was really crazy. All the animals, even when they saw the people seeing that all these animals coming in as pairs into this ship, for a moment, they was like, well, that's never happened before. That's crazy. How come all the animals are obeying Noah and they're going into the ship without harming him? That was their chance to convert. People were coming from near and far, if you go deeper into that story, to hear Noah speak the gospel and give them the warning. God was giving them the warning for years. The ship took years to build. And every time he was putting the nail and the hammer into that ship, he was testifying of what was to come. Change from your ways. Repent. This is what the Lord is going to do. And they would just mock him and thought he was delusional until it happened. And it was too late. They were knocking on that door and the Lord shut that ship. And a lot of people think that's crazy. And like I said, by now, if you don't believe there was a huge flood, I don't know what to tell you. Even atheists that has studied archaeology have now said there was indeed a flood that destroyed all humanity and lands. It was not no ice age rock or all of this. No, it destroyed everything. And that's why you see cities underwater. You think there's cities underwater and all of that. No, the water swallowed up all of those cities, all of those people. And that's that. So That's an interesting concept. I don't know how we got here, but y'all know me when I ramble. I'm going to stop now so I don't go too far, make this a whole sermon. But it's beautiful to think that in our most delusional, beautiful things can happen. And I'd rather be delusional and full of faith with my life and believe in the promises that God gave me than to, I'd rather come on here and say every video I post is going to do amazing. It's going to do great. And it's going to be for a person and come in here energetic and giving it my all than to come lackluster, sad eyes, believing this. No, I'd rather be delusional every single time. Every business venture I have is going to work out. And if it doesn't work out, something better is going to come. That's just the faith I have. Oh man, I'm late to work because of traffic. Well, Lord, that could have been an accident that you're blocking. Instead of sitting there, you're cursing, you're angry, honking people. What if God was just Let me tell you a story that happened to a real pastor that was preaching. I tell you, in Haiti, you have to either be really faithful to God or, you can't be lukewarm. So this pastor, he was in Haiti, and they have something called camionnette in Haiti, which is their bus system, traveling system, taxi cab system, if you will. And he's waiting for the camionnette, and he was first in line, and this guy came and skipped him and pushed him out of the way to get the last seat that was in the camionnette. And the pastor was just like, man, really? But he was like, you know what? I'm not even going to fight it. Go ahead, brother, have it. He just let it be. Because he's like, when you serve God, you don't fight with vagabonds. Let me stop. But literally not even a block, less than a block, you still can see the camionnette driving away. And boom, a truck hits it, it twists over. And that seat where he was where he got the impact and died. That guy that took his seat. Now, he said, when things happen, the Lord is blocking. He's blocking some things for you sometimes. So when you have that negative mindset that when something don't go your way, oh no, blah, 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 and you're negative and you're mocking, you don't even know what he's protecting you from, what he's preventing from happening to you. And here's another true story that I'll tell you guys. So I'll give these names for... I don't know. I'll give these names instead. I won't give the real names. But there's a lady named Mary. Mary was working with this company that they loved her. She was the only Haitian woman working in this company. And the boss loved her work ethic. She was always on time, always positive, did her work, and just, phenomenal woman. The boss came and said, hey, Mary, we have this position that is available, but I want to, instead of opening the system to get a new hiree, I want to leave this open for you since I love the way you work so much. Do you have anyone that works just as diligently as you that you can recommend? And this is a true story, guys. Trust me, it's a true story. And Mary was like, actually, yes. There's a good friend of mine that just came from Haiti that don't really have the skills or the language yet, but she can get the work done. And I think she would do great. Let's call that friend Sarah. So Sarah comes in to get the job Mary gave her. But of course, Sarah doesn't have the credentials, doesn't have there's language barriers and all of that. So Sarah is, of course, getting paid a little less until she can work her way up into the company. After a couple months, Sarah is like, I don't like that Mary's getting paid more than me. And starts to feel a way about Mary getting paid more than her and forgetting that Mary just gave her this opportunity and this job. She starts to feel envious instead and starts to try to get Mary fired and giving her mauvais genre or bad ways, attitude, etc. But Mary was a praying woman. And she just did good out of her heart. It was just, I'm just going to pray. She switched up. I tried to help, but I'm just going to pray and leave it to God. I'm not going to be angry. So Sarah now asked the boss, hey, I have to go to Haiti to take leave because I have a funeral to go to. They gave her the absence to go leave to go to Haiti. But Sarah went to Haiti to go to a Uga, which is a witch doctor, so that she can figure out how she can eliminate Mary, how she can take Mary out of here. Kill. So, of course, she concocts this powder. The witch doctor makes a powder for her and was like, hey, go ahead. Here's the solution. This should fix all your problems, right? So Sarah gets on the airplane to come back. And this is a true story in Miami airport. And she gets stopped at the Miami airport. And that day, for whatever reason, every cop, every agent that ever existed in the world was at that airport. And they were looking for substances and all of that stuff. That's just what happened that day. And so Sarah is like, this is strange. I've never seen so much police officers in the airport before, anything like that. And it just so happened that an officer was walking with a canine, and the canine sniffed Sarah and was like, something is here. They go through Sarah's belongings, find nothing. But then the canine refused to leave Sarah and was like, nope, something's wrong. Something's in that bag. So the officers was like, okay, if the dog is going this hard, there must be something there. Because you see, when you're praying. So then they dump out all her stuff again, go through her stuff, and they finally found the powder. Sarah's like, no. It's not coke. It's not that. It's baby powder. And the police was like, no, it's not baby powder. It is what it is. She's like, no, trust me, it's baby powder. I promise. And they said, if it's baby powder, then take it and put it on yourself. Prove it. Sarah, in a panic, throws the baby powder on her, and she blew up like a balloon instantly. They came to try to put her on an ambulance, and she died right there at the airport. That poison that she met for Mary came right back to haunt her. And this is how she found out, because now funerals happen, talking, and witch doctor reveals it was indeed for Mary. All Mary did was pray and leave it to God. And this is a true story. That happens all the time in Haiti with food and stuff. People do that. It is what it is. But I say this to say to you that if Mary tried to fight back, if Mary was angry, going back and forth with Sarah, letting that bother her every time she went to report something to the boss, because the boss would come and be mad. And, if she fought back and got annoyed and cursed and, vengeance is mine, says the Lord. Hold your peace and let the Lord fight your battle. Sometimes the bad things that happen to us, the people that turn against us, the Lord is protecting us. Stay faithful, stay calm, stay positive, stay happy, and stay prayerful. I'm telling you, if someone cuts you off, you don't got to shoot them the bird. You don't got to yell. You don't got to hump. You don't know what's ahead, and the Lord is protecting you. Okay? If someone wants to badmouth you at work, do all of that, you don't got to get even. You don't got to feel like everything bad is in life. You don't know what the Lord is protecting you from. Let that person be. You might not even ever know the things that He protects you from. Someone may never testify. I have so many more stories, but I'll tell you guys throughout as I do more videos of stuff like this that has happened. But this was a true story, and that has always made me just be grateful, be patient, don't rush, and trust in the Lord. Trust in the Lord that He's going to protect me. Trust in the Lord that when something doesn't work out for me, it's okay. And I will be delusional to know that there is a God in heaven. There is a God in heaven. And because there's a God in heaven, there's not a dream He puts in my heart that won't happen. That's my delusion. That's my story of faith. I love you guys so much. Thank you for tuning in. Leave a butterfly in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.